Hello, hello. Hey, JC. Hello. Hopefully, we have resolved all of the streaming issues that I have been having. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be talking about this crazy white women answer the call, where a group of white women came together in support of Kamala Harris. And yeah, once we start getting into this stuff is so crazy. These women are, I stand by what I said. These women are dangerous. They are dangerous to America because they believe in some very crazy things. Yeah. So let me just check all my other things going on here, making sure I am good to go. Okay. Let's see. It's wild. It is so wild. How are you guys doing? Oh, first of all, so thank you guys for wishing me a happy birthday. My birthday was Thursday, so thank you for all of the sweet and kind comments, all of the gifts and things. Thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Let's see. Let me just pin. Oh, can I not do that? Let's see here. But yeah, you guys, we are in a pickle here with women that are what I'm about to show you. Women like this are, I agree, dangerous. Thank you, JC. Let's go ahead and listen to what this woman had to say.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too. So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listen.
Okay, let me stop you right there, Miss Ma'am. So I have a big problem with this idea that you know what is good and right and best for another group of people because you're white. To me, I don't know about y'all, but to me, that says that you think you are inherently better because you're white. That doesn't make me feel like you're some person that I can really listen to or trust or put any real legitimacy behind who you are, because you base your opinions on what people look like. Like, it's so superficial. But these are the women that are pushing this idea that Kamala Harris is somehow a great candidate. So they are saying that they are going to take this very trivial thing of what she looks like, Kamala Harris being quote unquote Black or a person of color, let's just say that, a person of color and a woman, and that is what we should be basing our vote on. Well, why would you encourage that type of behavior? Why would you encourage people to not go beyond that? It's kind of disgusting. Let's see. John Hancock from Facebook says, these white women know exactly what they're doing. They understand that as a group, Black women will sell the group out for trinkets and benefits. They also treat Black women like they're handmaidens on the plantation. And I think that part is the part, because what they are essentially saying is that because they are white, they hold some, they tell you right out, I'm white, I have privilege. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Like they tell you straight up and down that that's what they think. They're saying, I'm white and I am better than you because I'm white. Like there is no basis for them to assume that they hold some type of, intellectual superiority, because they're, nothing of substance. It's not your intellect. It's not your experience. It's not, the value you bring. It's because you happen to have less melanin. And we're supposed to that's supposed to be it. And the sad part about it is this has been working for quite some time, that Black people have, just because a white person says, that whole thing about white ISIS culture, it's just plumb ridiculous. I mean, when you really think about these things, and they are so comfortable. These women are so comfortable that they get on national platforms and say, yeah, I'm better than you because I'm white. And I'm going to use my superiority to help you non-thinking, you poor, pathetic little Negroes. I mean, that is what they're saying. I don't understand why Black women in particular, Black people as a whole, don't find this offensive. I don't understand that. Why you don't find this offensive? If you are so about white privilege and, tearing down white privilege and why are you allowing, they literally have a call. This call is called White Women Answer the Call. So they are assuming their privilege. I don't get it. Help me understand. Black women, Black men, help me understand how this lady is speaking for you. I don't get it. And why are you comfortable with that? Why are you comfortable with anybody being able to say, because my lack of melanin, because of skin color of any shade, is supposed to be just inherently better? Isn't that the same thing that the KKK said? Isn't that the same thing that racist people used to say back in the day? I am better than you, and therefore, because of my skin color, I'm better than you, and therefore you need to be a slave, be oppressed, be all the things. But now all of a sudden, that same idea, the same concept, I'm better than you, and therefore now it's I need to help you. Before it was I'm better than you, and I'm going to oppress, enslave, all the things, because I'm white. Now they've flipped the script, but people are still buying it. How are you? Why is it different now? Why is it different? Why is it different now that white people, white women, these ladies, they can go on and say, I'm white and I'm better and I'm going to help you, as opposed to back in the day when they said, I'm white and I'm better, I'm going to oppress you? Like, would it have been better if it was like, oh, I'm Black and I'm better and I'm going to oppress you? Or I'm, what? You should be offended that anybody would use their skin color to say that they're better, that they're superior than you, that they are supreme. They are supreme because of their skin. It is the same exact argument that the KKK had, that racist people have. I don't understand. I'm just saying, like, at least, like, where is the dignity? You know, where is the dignity of pressing beyond that? You know, to be able to press beyond that. That's all it takes. I'm white, and they got to say a few magical words, and then all of a sudden, they're supposed to be deemed legitimate. They're supposed to be quote unquote allies and all this stuff because they said that they're better because they said so. Like, they don't have to prove. There's no merit. There's no nothing. It's just, well, either I'm a woman, I'm black, or like all this superficial stuff. Why don't they ever have to prove that what they're saying is true? In fact, she just said, don't even question somebody because if they happen to be a person of color. Don't even question them. Just take everything that they say as the gospel because they have a certain amount of melanin. That is just insane. Like, this is insane. Let's continue to listen to what she says.
So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we together. But get about self. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on. So do learn.
God forbid correcting them. God forbid correcting them. God forbid correcting Black people if they say something that's absolutely insane. What I mean, like, this notion that somehow skin color, it literally can give you magical powers. So if you're Black, it gives you the power to never be questioned, to always be believed. That goes for women too. You know, it's somehow, you know, if you have certain identities, if you wear certain identities, it excuses you from regular human stuff. So you are now exempt from humanity. If you happen to be white and you call yourself an ally, you're exempt from, you know, what the rest of us have to go through. If you call yourself Black, you know, you're automatically oppressed. So then you're exempt from what normal people have to go through. And, you know, also though, if you're Black, you get an extra point or some extra points, because not only do you get to claim oppression and victimhood, but you also can never be held accountable. You also can never be questioned on, I don't know, idiotic theories. You can never be questioned on anything. She said, God forbid. God forbid. God forbid somebody says something crazy to you who happens to be Black and you question what the heck they're talking about. Like, you lose all of your thinking ability if you're white and you're in around some Black folks who might be saying something insane. John Hancock says they're comfortable because the Black community is backwards. The men lead and women follow every other community but ours. Black women voted for Biden to the tune of 90% and then shamed 80% of Black men into voting. They have no shame when it comes to abuse from white liberal mommy and zaddy. Need I remind you of get your booty to the polls, no voting, no bucking, Trina and a man with BBL. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Harry. Harry says, should a Christian boycott the Olympics because of the opening on Friday? I would. I mean, I just saw clips, and it was just completely and utterly disgusting. Like, I don't have no time for that foolishness. I am really sick and tired of people just disrespecting Christianity, though. Like, they take it way, it's enough. Enough is enough. But let's finish watching this lady tell everybody how we should be what white people should do.
Learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. A lot to learn and unlearn. So do check your blind spots. You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not. Intentionally seek out and share content from BIPOC.
You are responsible for your algorithm. These people think they are a whole robot. Like this woman thinks she is a whole bot. I mean, maybe she is, you know, who knows these days. Maybe this will come out as a cheap fake. But she is saying that she believes, you know, she's going to teach all these other white women, you know, how they should stay in their place and what they need to do in order to make Black people comfortable, because in her mind, Black people just can't. I mean, they need her. We need her to like stand up for all the little for all the little Negroes. She is the voice. She's the voice. You know, and you're not doing your part, you got to check your blind spots. No, because you know it couldn't be that Black women or Black people might need to check what they believe. No. She's here to tell you that you don't even need to question Black people. Don't question them, just believe everything they say. And this is what you're seeing. This is critical race theory, because critical race theory says that you have to uplift. And she used the exact phrase that they use. You have to uplift Black voices and believe all experiences. That's what you're supposed to do, according to these people. You cannot possibly think on your own. You're supposed to. All your thinking can be summed up by one thing: skin color. If you got the right skin color, you are allowed to think these things. Let me make myself bigger here, because thank you, Harry. Yes, please like and subscribe and share this out. Thank you so much. So she is saying it. Thinking is supported by what you look like. So if you're Black, you can think according to these specific things. If you're white, you have to think according to these specific things. That's why they can throw around terms like Blackness and whiteness, because they have skin color has now become something other than just being skin color. It's supposed to actually now, according to them, skin can actually determine what you're supposed to think, who you're supposed to vote for, where you can and can't live. You know, all of these things they say that they are against, but they just dress it up in a different way in 2024 and then sell the same old bull crap that they've been selling for decades. It's the same thing. This is exactly what KKK members used to believe. Because I am a certain skin color, I can now say what you who are not this skin color can and cannot do, where you can and cannot go, where you can and what you can and cannot think, what you can and cannot say. Is this not the same thing? And I want to know, to the Black folks who think that this is acceptable, what is the difference? Why are these white women, why and how are these white women any different from what the KKK essentially believed? What is the difference? I really want to know. We deserve an answer. We got to sit here and listen to this bull crap for the next 3 and 4 months or however long to the election, because they're going to try to tell all Black people that you ain't crap unless you tie yourself to some, that white people have white privilege and Kamala Harris is the savior of the Black people, even though she's married to a man of white privilege. She not even all. I mean, like it's just foolishness. It's just absolutely foolishness. And then if you say that, well, y'all are the ones who wanted this whole diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that's what we should be looking at, and that's really the only thing that matters. If Republicans happen to say, well, y'all wanted the DEI higher, then you claim that's racist. Like, pick a struggle. How are you going to claim on one hand that did this not okay, hold on. How are you going to claim on one hand that Kamala and all of these other people are terrible and bad when they are when they are showing this, how they say it today? Like, today it's just oh, well, we're an ally. Yes, we're still judging you by race, but we're an ally now. And so, we're just gonna, there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying, because now I'm an ally, even though I think you're pathetic and full of crap. But but I'm now saying that I'm an ally for you, even though I don't believe that you're capable of thinking on your own and moving on your own and doing life by yourself. You need my help as the savior. Don't you understand that? What is the difference? That's what I want to know, to the Black folks who is voting for Kamala, or who it thinks that what this lady is saying is acceptable. I want to know. Tell me today how this is acceptable for this lady to say that she has the right skin color, and that's her qualification, because she's white, that she can tell all the Black people what to do, how to vote, and what to think. Why is that acceptable when it's the same thing that the KKK said years ago? What's the difference? What is the difference? Yeah. You can't show a driver's license to vote. You don't know how to vote. You don't know how to use computers. You don't know how to do anything. All you know how to do is be Black. That's all you know how to do. So I want to know,
creators,
what's the difference?
Activists, thought leaders. They should be the leaders of conversations about race and justice and equity. So just whatever you do, person who's brave enough to speak up. But do know when to walk away from an argument for your own sake. There are some strangers you'll meet online who are persuadable, but some are.
First of all, this woman is, I don't know how old she is, but she is too old to behave this way. I'm just, I just don't know. I mean, the little Negroes are so pathetic. Oh my God. It's just so, oh my God. I'm so happy to just be here and be telling you how pathetic and how much of a loser that Black people are, and how privileged I am to get to speak on behalf of all the Black folks. And then I get to tell all the white folks too that they're not doing what they're supposed to do if they are not thinking how I want them to think. I'm totally not racist because, I'm white and I'm superior. Like, my thinking is superior, and you're Black and yours isn't. But that's not racism, okay? Because we've changed the definition of all this stuff. And so it's totally not racist anymore. It's totally not racist anymore, okay? So we can just come and we can say the same things as the KKK, but we just don't have to be accountable for it, because we've just magically flipped the script. Because I'm white, I view myself as having privilege. I view myself as better than people of color, but I just don't say it like that anymore. I say that I'm an ally, and they just accept it. It's totally, totally fine. Ooh, but that is what they say. I mean, that is what they think. That is craziness. That is craziness. You can literally say the same exact things that the KKK used to say, and nobody pays it any attention, because you just deem yourself as an ally. That's all you got to do. I'm an ally, so I can say whatever I want to say. I can tell Black people, I can say that Black people ain't ain't anything. But as long as I add that little piece on the end, because I'm an ally, then it doesn't matter. I just have to acknowledge my white privilege, and it excuses me, and it just expunges, and it just makes my conscience clear, because I acknowledge my privilege, and I can pretty much say whatever I want to say. So all I have to do is acknowledge my privilege, and I'm good to go. I'm golden. I'm good. I'm Gucci. Insane.
Or not. I know when you see some headlines or someone makes a wild claim, it can be really shocking. But do give yourself permission to pause, take a breath, and do a Google search and ask questions and be critical of the sources. I was a kindergarten teacher, and sometimes we would read stories.
Pause. This lady said she was a kindergarten teacher. A kindergarten teacher. This lady was shaping the minds of young children, young, impressionable children. This lady has over 1 million followers on, like, I don't know, Twitter, Instagram, something. I don't know when they introduce her, but she has all these followers. She is influencing millions of people and the next generation. Dangerous. She is dangerous to society.
An argument for your own sake. There are some strangers you'll meet online who are persuadable, but some are not. I know when you see some headlines or someone makes a wild claim, it can be really shocking. But do give yourself permission to pause, take a breath, and do a Google search and ask questions and be critical of the sources. I was a kindergarten teacher, and sometimes we would read stories. And I know I have some of my former students here and their families. Hi. We would learn about a historical event, and I would ask my students, who is missing from this story? This is not a concept or question that I invented, but it's something that I was taught as a way to decenter the Eurocentric and white voices that are often at the forefront of our history books and our media.
This lady is a full-on communist teaching little kids. She just told you all you need to know. She was trained. What she's saying is she's trained. She is trained to decentralize whiteness. That's a real thing. I'm saying in their world, there are articles about these types of this concept. There are books about this type of concept. It comes from critical race theory. She's a trained Marxist. I've been taught how I can decentralize whiteness, basically.
We would learn about a historical event, and I would ask my students, who is missing from this story?
So they don't teach you critical race theory, and people who believe this stuff, which they are critical race, the communists, they teach you to pay attention to race, to pay attention to the identities. It's not to heal racism or to not pay attention to race. To that race gives you some type of insight into who they are. That is so stupid. I still want to know, why is it okay for the KKK to think that they had some type of insight into who you were or who you are to the people that they were racist to because they were Black? Why did they have insight into Black people, but this lady, why was it not okay for them, but it's okay for her? Because she's claiming the same thing. She's claiming she has some ethnic narcissism, some racial knowing because she's white, that she can put upon Black folks. Why? It's the same exact concept.
This is not a concept or question that I invented, but it's something that I was taught as a way to center the Euros voices that are often at the forefront of our history books and our media. And so, in a time when misinformation is running wild and AI is on the rise, seek evidence and be a critical consumer of media and information before just sharing it out. Don't feed the trolls. You guys know I have trouble with this one sometimes, but we are all grown-up children. Children seek good attention and bad attention.
We are all grown-up children. No, girl, you are supposed to be a grown woman. You are not that's your problem. You think you are a grown child. I mean, you are acting like a child, but you are supposed to be a thinking adult. You are out here, good God, from Zion. Like, this lady is dangerous. She just said we are all grown children. No, ma'am, you're supposed to be an adult. How you a grown child teaching kids, girl? This is crazy. Now we have to excuse all ignorance, violence, hateful racism, even violence against each other, like we are oppressed and cannot help our weakness. It's insane and insulting. It is insulting. It is. I find these things highly insulting. I really do. Let's see. Prudence says, back when I was surrounded by the liberal bubble, everything in it was created by either gay men or teachers. It was a beautiful bubble I lived in, but it was filled with women like this. Yeah. Prudence says, white equals power in communism. It doesn't matter how poor or stupid you are. If you are white, it's considered power. And she says, thank God for freedom. Amen. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. Charles on Facebook says, unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It is wild. It is so crazy. Again, I'm going to keep asking, what is the difference between what this lady is saying and what the KKK used to say? What is the difference? This lady is no different than what she says the same thing that the KKK used to say. Or she's the current KKK. And I'm using the KKK because we keep talking about them in America as though they are like a prominent group, or as you know, KKK people are in the KKK on the rise or something like that, when it's just not. And nobody seems to have a problem with this, but they would definitely have a problem with the KKK. So I really want to know, what is the difference? Paul says none at all. I agree. Sasha M says, these Caucasian Karens scare me. We all should be scared. I mean, Black women speak like this too. Black women speak like this too. I don't know what it is. And not all women are like this, obviously, but there is this thing with women that we just want. I mean, the emotional appeal, I guess. Like, why do we want to just hand our society over to people who cannot prove that they should be in the positions that they are applying for? Like, why are we the ones on the forefront of this saying, no, just put them up there. I don't care what they can do. I don't care what they can't do. I don't care what skill they have. Oh, they're Black and it's a woman. Oh, Kamala's qualified. But like, we're not making ourselves look very good. You know, we're not really doing a good job. If we're just gonna say that you don't have to be qualified, why would you wouldn't even trust a babysitter. If you had a babysitter, you and your husband, you're going out, it's date night, and you guys need a babysitter. Are you just gonna pick the first Black person that you see? I mean, is that, she is a Black woman and it's a Black and a woman. Here's somebody, she's Black and she's a woman. Cool. I'm not going to check to see her references. I'm not going to check to, make sure that she knows how to do the job. I'm not going to check to see if she is she qualified in CPR. I'm not going to check to see if she, has gone through a background check. I'm not going to check to see anything. She Black and she a woman. Come watch my kid. because God. So earlier she said, God forbid we question people of color. Okay, well, go ahead and just hire any old black woman. Just pick one random off the street and come into your house to watch your kids. Since you can't question black people, you can't, you're not supposed to, you're supposed to just believe what they say. You can't question them, just believe what they say. Okay, well, let's take that theory and put it on your kids. Let's see if you still feel that way when it comes to your kid, because you're cool with putting somebody in the White House because you feel like it's so far away from you and it will never really affect what you got going on. But let's just take that theory and see if you will let any old person, black and woman, because apparently, those are just the bee's knees. Those are the all you got to be is black and a woman. You're the cream of the crop in society. Cream of the crop. Can't be questioned. So let's just bring them on in so we can see if you be cool with them watching your kids. We're not going to background check them. We're not going to see if they have any type of skills. We just going to walk up and down the block and pick a rando off the street. Qualifications needed, only be black and a woman. That's it. Let's just do that. Let's just do that with your children. Oh, I forgot. She don't have any kids. Terrible. Just freaking ridiculous.
Trolls are the same. Sometimes walking away is the answer. But that being said, don't expect to get it right every time, because we're going to get it wrong sometimes. I certainly do. I have, and I will. And that is part of the process of learning and growing. So ready for feedback and listen when you're corrected, and model doing your best to repair harm that's done, because a lot of the times being an ally means being willing to be uncomfortable. And no one is more uncomfy than someone talking to their bigoted family members. So yes, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. No pun intended. Get it? Over half of white people, or almost of white people, voted for Donald Trump both times he ran for president. So someone that you need to talk to. Do it. Maybe don't hit them with a got it, or catch a bubble like I do in my skits. We can save that for when we are among friends, but trust me, they do not like it, and it is not going to help you persuade them. But research tells us that personal conversations between friends or family members can be more persuasive than any online debate with a troll or even an advertisement run by a candidate.
She's absolutely right. This is what they teach you. This is the comment, this is what they teach you. When they have these meetings, this is how they practice organizing. You don't pick your fruit like that. You examine the clothes you wear with more scrutiny. Exactly, Paul. Robert Oliver says, is she for real? This was a real call. The call was called, but the Zoom call was white women answer the call. That's what it says up here in the upper left corner. It says white women answer the call. So yes, this is for real. This was a real Zoom call. So shout out to Tiffany Justice from Moms for Liberty. She's the one who sent this to me. So thank you for that. And she said, Sasha N says, I find these women very insulting. They are insulting. They are, because we don't make decisions like that on anything else. But because they know that this kind of talk emotionally moves Black people, that's what they're going to do. I mean, the dam is breaking. The dam is breaking. I do believe that we are seeing, because of, that's why free speech is so important. We see these things breaking because of, partly, I think, because of Elon Musk and just people continuing to speak up and not let this bull crap ride. It is bull crap. You would not like, who just said it? Like Paul said, you don't even pick your fruit like that. You know, you pick up a pineapple, you're going to smell the bottom. You know what I mean? You pick up a tomato, you're going to look at it and make sure it doesn't have bruises on it. You're going to scrutinize the fruit. You're going to scrutinize, you look at labels. When you go to buy groceries, you're concerned about what you're putting into your body, but you're not concerned about what you're putting into society. It's the same concept there. If you put junk in, you're going to get junk out. Same thing. If you put junk into society, you're going to put junk is going to come back out of society. Prudence says on Instagram that they don't hear how inherently racist that even is. That is so true. So it's only okay to be white if you are somehow useful to someone with more money. Exactly. And if you don't claim to do that, then you're not being an effective ally. It is insane. And they don't even catch what they're saying because it's so accepted. You, like Prudence said before, like if you live in this bubble and everybody's saying it, you haven't been taught how to think. You haven't been taught how to scrutinize anything other than Republicans. That's the only thing you know how to scrutinize. You don't know how to scrutinize and nothing else. But white folks who are not talking this nonsense, that's the only thing that you know how to scrutinize.
So remember, I said you are all influencers. However, if Kamala can use brat, I can say, let us touch grass, friends. Get off the internet. Because by talking to your families and friends and community members, you can inspire real change. I also want to conclude this. Don't lose hope and don't burn out. We need you and your heart, so take care of yourself. And if somebody knows broader origin of this concept, please tell me. But as told by the hungover pundit on Twitter, he says, a friend once shared what she called the parable of the choir. A choir can sing a beautiful note impossibly long because singers can individually drop out to breathe as necessary, and it goes on. Social justice should be like that. The fight for justice and equality is long and challenging, but every step forward counts. So stay committed, stay hopeful, and keep pushing for the changes that we need to see. Lean on each other, and especially the wisdom and leadership of BIPOC individuals and communities. Promote positive actions and allyship, and encourage your friends and get involved, no matter how many or how few you have. And always ask who is missing from the stories you're being told and the stories that you're sharing, and inspire others and create a ripple effect for change. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Frazzled.
Look at
How
all
many
this.
people were like,
Look
catch
at
a
all these
bubble
people.
when you saw her come on screen. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And
Dangerous
our final
women.
speakers of the night.
Look at these people. Dangerous. These women are dangerous. I truly believe, I believe that. Paul says, well, I guess this Black man and most of our family voted for Trump 2 times and will vote once again in November. So maybe she needs to come and talk to me. That's a rude awakening for this crazy woman. Yeah. And they had, I think, over 40,000 women or something that hopped on this call at some point in time. So this is not a small group of people. Now, I know, you know, a lot of women don't believe these things, but a lot do. Buck Jones says she must have no Black friends, just regurgitating what she thinks she heard. Yeah, she's in her bubble. She's definitely in her bubble. These people think that they can literally tell you exactly what to think. And what they are doing, this idea that if you reach out to people that are in small groups and, you know, people that are friends and family, and you try to convince them, studies do show that it is way more effective. That's why, I mean, the Democrats have been doing this for some time now, and Republicans not so much. I mean, the left, they have apps, and they have all types of things that are helping them to accomplish these things, all type of technological things that help them promote and push and train other people how to do this stuff. So they're very serious. Like, it's not just these crazy people that are just talking with no action behind it. No, they really actually do believe what they're saying, and they have a lot of technology helping them to do this, helping them have these conversations with their family members. So when you are put up against somebody like this, so they're trying, the goal for them is to get the particularly the Black men that have said, you know what, I'm not down with this mess, to bring them back in, to use the women in their lives to try to do this. Their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, any woman that is close to their girlfriends, their wives. They're trying to use women, people that are close in their circle, to bring back the Black male vote back over to the left. But like I said, I do believe that these things are starting to be less effective. You guys may have seen this going around the last couple of days. So this is Anton Daniel. So check this out.
For? Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna just be real honest with this. She's a Black woman.
Yeah.
Because they skin folk, not kin folk.
I'm
gonna start this over so you guys can hear.
Vote for? Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna just be real honest with this. She's a Black woman.
Yeah.
Because they skin folk, not kin folk.
I think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else just.
Hold on. Let me mind this out.
I think majority.
Is it only because she a Black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world.
There's my friend ABL that popped in down on the bottom left there.
She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco, ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage, because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more Black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's Black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for Black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta.
None of these cities where these Black folks are in charge of, none of them are running good. None of them. But Black people are still like, yeah, so what? She's Black. Let me go vote for her because she's Black. Let me vote for Kamala because she's Black and she's a woman. Let me finish playing this.
Atlanta, it didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. And we sitting here talking about identity politics?
It's crazy. She also says, that young lady also says that she feels like women should just get their shot. You know, give us a shot. Give you a shot at further ruining the country? Are you freaking kidding me? Give you a shot? No. I don't want to give you a shot because you don't have good judgment. Like, this is not exhibiting good judgment. It would be nice to see women, Black women in particular, to come out and say, you know what? We should scrutinize this rhetoric. We should scrutinize the voting record. We should scrutinize and fact check what Kamala's saying. Like, but if you want to be taken seriously as a woman, just say, oh, I'm going to vote for her because she's quote a person of color, and a woman. Nobody's going to take you seriously. That why should anyone listen to you? That you're making yourself like you're like Kamala is, or anybody Black and a female is above humanity, is something other than a human being, because they're getting special privileges unlike the rest of us human beings. Everybody can be scrutinized. Everybody has the ability to lie. Everybody has the ability to be just searching for power. Everybody who has the ability to grift. Everybody has the ability, like, all people have the ability to be evil and wicked and liars and just do wicked things. And you are going to allow the future that and the society that your children will have to live in, if you happen to have children, based on if somebody is a person of color and a woman? This is probably why men didn't have women voting back in the day. This might be why, because this looks real crazy right now. And there are a lot of women who have been on this kind of time for years. They're not asking anybody to do any kind of critical thinking. They're not asking nobody to do anything that is of substance. All you got to do is be a woman and be Black. That's it. This is dangerous for America. This is dangerous for any society. If men were predominantly, if any large group of people are saying that we need to vote for a person simply because of their skin color or that they happen to be a man, would these women be cool if people were like, well, he's a man, so let's just vote for him? He's a white man, let's vote for him. Like, again, if it don't work over there, then why does it get to be okay when this lady says it? Why? Because if it's okay to vote purely based on skin color and sex, then why not? Okay, so we just gonna vote for all the white men, then y'all be cool with that. We just gonna vote for all the Black men. Y'all be cool with that. We just gonna vote for all the, whomever. Like, if it's good for the goose, it should be good for the gander. But it's not. You wouldn't even pick your babysitter that way. You probably wouldn't even pick your dog sitter that way. You wouldn't even pick the person to put your dog in the kennel for a kennel that you didn't scrutinize and watch the reviews and see if they were standing behind their services, to see if they told the truth about how they treated dogs. You wouldn't do it. But you are willing to overlook that when it comes to who's going to be running your country. You don't even, like Paul said, you don't even pick your fruit that way. You scrutinize your fruit. You pick it up. You try to see if there's any bruises or any rotten pieces on there. You spend more time scrutinizing your fruit than you do about voting for, checking out the background of the person that you are trying to put into office. This is crazy. This is the ignorant race mentality that the left and mainstream media pushes, and Democrats fall for it every time and still cry when they get took by their own. Sadly, we all pay for it in the end instantly. It's true. It is so true. If you guys want to support the channel, I think there is a button there where you can do a super chat or a super sticker. On Facebook, I think you can send stars or, all the things. If you want to support the channel, please do. Please do. And there's also, we have shirts there on YouTube that are available as well. But it is just so sickening. I am so grateful that God literally took the blinders off of my eyes, that he took down that race idolatry. When God said that your skin color has become an idol in your life, just truer words had never been spoken to me before. And that, bringing that down, tearing down that idol, was such a blessing. Because you can't see reality. You can't see reality. You judge everything through the lens of race and not through the lens of reality. And that is stupid. That is dangerous. That is really dangerous. And one more thing before I go. I see some Republicans who are like, don't say anything about Kamala's being a DEI hire because, that's offensive. The left Joe Biden said, I'm picking Kamala because she's Black and she's a woman. That's what he said. Like, why can't we just hold Kamala to what the left said that's what they picked her for? Like, they said it. They should have to defend it. Why not? Like, they're the ones that said it. They go around here beating their drum of how proud they are about how, I'm going to pick someone who looks like we want this to look like America. They wasn't looking at qualifications. They picked Kamala purely on race and sex. And they've been telling us how great and wonderful it is to pick people based on race and sex. And now if we call it out and say, well, you picked her based on race and sex, she's a DEI hire, that's why you hired her. What's wrong with just telling the truth? It's the truth. And they said it. So why can't we just call them back to the memory of what they themselves said? What is wrong with that? Why do we have to apologize as Republicans for just saying what they said? That's what they said. That's what they said they wanted. I mean, they tout how great and wonderful it is to do things like that. That's what they say. They say DEI is great and wonderful. We need to have it in all the classrooms. We need to have it everywhere we go. Everything we do has got to be DEI. If you don't like it, then that means you're racist. Why do we have to apologize for literally saying what they said? Why do we have to apologize for that? Why would we? Like, that makes no sense. They literally campaign, not only her, but Ketanji Brown Jackson. It's in one of the, if you listen to what Corinne Jean-Pierre, she's another one, DEI. If you listen to the accomplishments of the Biden administration, him picking a black vice president, a person of color, a woman of color vice president, a press secretary who's black and a lesbian, and a black woman Supreme Court justice. They literally list that as an accomplishment. Not their background, not their accomplishments, not their not anything that they have done in their past, but because they are black and a woman and one of them being a lesbian. That's what they said. So now we have to act like they didn't say that they were hiring because she is black and a woman. Like, no, they should have to defend it. They have told us for years that DEI was a good thing. So now when Republicans are saying, well, she's a DEI hire, now we have to act like it's a bad thing. Like, stop it. No, that's what they said. We have to start not letting them get away with being able to say this foolishness and just truck on along like they never said it. That's what they said. And I'm tired of seeing all this stuff. Like, we can't hold them to their own words. They should have to defend it. Well, if DEI is so great and wonderful, then where's the proof? Where's the proof? They should have to back this up. Why not? Why don't they have to back up what they say? They should have to defend their arguments. I'm just, calling it like I see it. I mean, that's what they said. They said DEI was great and wonderful. That's how they like it. Robert says, many Black Democrats, and I am Black and a former Democrat, have a melanin fetish. They have the constant need to feel good about being Black. Yeah, a melanin fetish, racial idolatry. That's how I see it. It is sick. But then at the same time, they tell you that looking at race is, back when they used to do it before, it was bad, but today it's cool. Like, what? If that ain't double-mindedness, I don't know what is. Like, pick a struggle. You can't have it both ways. Paul says, this is the ignorant race mentality that the left... okay, I read that one already. Let's see. DEI failures are proven all the time, and we're supposed to pretend like their messes never happened. Nope. Exactly. Like, why do we have to act like, DEI is some good thing? It's an utter failure. Like, why do we have to pretend with these people? That's what they want you to do. They want you to act like all this trans stuff is good for kids, even though we see the mutilization of the bodies, we see the mental health issues. Don't look at that. And they don't want you to call out their bull crap. They have been telling us that affirm. You just have to affirm. That's all you got to do is just affirm the gender care. We have to pretend like they don't say any of this stuff and just act like it's cool. Melanated Marxism. I like that. I'll be borrowing that, Paul. Melanated Marxism. That's what it is. Melanated Marxism. Melanated Marxism. Color communism. Color communism and common sense. Y'all go read that book. But this conversation, back to the first chick that I played, that was just fascinating to me. I mean, she was literally saying, I'm white and I can tell y'all what to do. All y'all little people of color, because you clearly, all the little poor little Negroes, you cannot think by yourself. You can't do any of that. We had here in my city a segregated assembly. I just want to show you, this is not something, this is not a one-off, this is not something that, that one time, that what. No, these things have permeated culture. We had a segregated assembly at a high school because one of these DEI counselors said that this is what needed to be done to heal racial division. We're going to have the black kids come at 9 and the white kids come at 10. This was a planned event at a high school. I'm just trying to get you guys to see that the people that think like this, they're teaching your children. They are running for office. They're judges. They are lawyers. They are elected officials. Kamala Harris. They are leading corporations. They are leading nonprofit groups. They are in every sector. Some of them are in churches. A lot of them are in supposedly Christian churches. They are literally telling you, your kids, whatever groups that they are in front of, that because they are white, they are acknowledging their supremacy over you and saying, we're going to tell y'all what to do. What is the difference between what the KKK did and what these people are doing? It's no difference. It is no difference. None whatsoever. The real Kobo says, I don't even know what the left wants anymore. Way too many different agendas. That's on Instagram. They want whatever is going to advance their agenda. That they will use whomever they want. It doesn't matter. It's like whatever rhetoric is working at the time. Whatever rhetoric is working at the time. This race narrative has worked for many decades now. And so they're going to keep doing it until it don't work no more. Yeah, they will use whomever, whatever. They really don't care about these little groups. I mean, clearly they don't care, because if you don't think like they want you to think, you are outcast. They don't play that. The left does not play that. They don't really believe in free speech. They don't really believe in any of these things. That's how they can be, they can condemn the KKK one second, but then do the same thing that the KKK says and does the next, because they don't actually believe any of this stuff. It's whatever, we will say whatever we have to get people to believe what we want them to believe. Nobody is actually scrutinizing what they believe. That's why it is good for Republicans to say Kamala is a DEI hire. They said it themselves. Make them account and be accountable for their own rhetoric. Make them have to defend it. I'm sick of this punk. Well, we're going to have to, we don't want to tell people the truth. We don't want to tell people the truth, as Republicans, because we're afraid of what they're going to say. It don't matter. They're not seeking truth. They're not seeking truth. So you might as well. It's because it's not for the left. You're trying to reach the people that they're talking to. But if you're never in these conversations, if you don't push back and say, here's why Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, and here's actually what they believe, if you don't ever push back on these things, then their rhetoric gets to stand unconfronted. It gets to stand unchallenged. You dang on right, you better push back and say, well, y'all said she was a DEI hire. This is what y'all said. Thank you so much, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, it just makes no sense. They get to espouse the same wicked rhetoric that the KKK did, but somehow when they do it, because they've deemed themselves an ally, it's cool. Oh, it's all good, Sasha, girl. My connection is terrible. It has been terrible. We're doing good tonight. Praise God. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about that. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you are watching on Facebook, make sure you like. If you are watching on Instagram, hit the follow. If you are If you want to support my work in this, please do through super chats, cash apps, all the things. Buck Jones says that they're scrubbing the internet to try to remove info about her being a DEI hire as well as her being the border czar. That is true, but it's still out there. It is definitely still out there. You know, you really can't scrub what the former president said, or what the current president said about her, because he said a lot of these things as president. That's going to be a little bit tougher to scrub. Oh, thank you, Sasha. And thank you, Mr. Milton, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. But yeah, it is so crazy. You know, Sasha, thank you. You're I think it's the best. Thank you. But push back. This kind of rhetoric that this lady was espousing is truly, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. And that's why I said that these women are dangerous. They're teaching your kids. Could you imagine a little kindergarten? This lady says she taught kindergarten. Could you imagine her talking about who's left out of this story? Little kindergartners who all they want to do is play with their little friends. Their friends probably are all different, you know, races and shades and all. The kids are not thinking about that kind of stuff. Because remember, racism is taught. Okay. So they're now teaching race to be racism in the schools. And she's probably like, oh, you know, let's highlight that your friend doesn't look like you. How wicked. Let's highlight and make something wrong with, you know, maybe a little white girl, a little black girl playing who are not thinking about race. That is disgusting. Kamala is just going to have the same policies as Sleepy Joe. Exactly. Yep. No worries, Sasha. Thank you so much. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to be coming up 7:30 on Chad Jackson's channel. We will be doing Cutting Through the Culture, but I wanted to come up and talk about this because it was just crazy to see how unhinged and how illogical and just insulting and disrespectful these white liberals are. I mean, she said everything you needed to know. She has the privilege. You know, you can just go on and continue to say exactly what the KKK used to say, but we're just dressing it up a little bit. So, you know, don't pay too much attention to that. Mr. Milton says her policies will be worse than Sleepy Joe. Possibly, particularly because you won't be able to scrutinize her because, you know, she won't be able to go completely unchecked. Hopefully, if we had a split Senate and Congress. But yeah, I mean, I do think she is certainly more radical than Joe Biden. She is certainly more radical than Joe Biden. Kamala's a communist. She's a communist. Do not forget it. Paul says, always happy to see and listen to your wisdom. Trust and believe my children aren't being taught by these heathens. See you tonight. This is good to know. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks, Paul. All right, you guys. But thank you so much for watching. I'm glad we got to talk tonight. Love to chat with you guys. We made it through. Didn't have any technical difficulties. So this is good. I think we're back now. We're back. But I will see you guys at 7:30. And like I said, don't forget to like, comment, share this out, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.